Hey student, watch this video and learn about 3 mistakes you gotta stop making in conversations in English. Well, if you don't know me so well, I'm teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. If it's your first time watching this video, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to teach you. Make sure to subscribe because every week, my friends, I come here to bring you different kinds of English lessons. Lessons about listening, vocabulary, reading, speaking, writing, because I want to make you a fluent English speaker who can understand and talk to people in English anywhere, anytime, no more fear, confidence to go anywhere, anytime. That's what I want for you here on my channel. That's what I work for, okay? Now, these mistakes are common and people will mostly understand if you make those mistakes, okay? But as I always like to emphasize with my students in my online program, with my followers, with you guys here on YouTube, is that fluency is communication, not perfection. When it's time to speak English, when you are at a job interview or, at work or traveling abroad, you don't have so much time to process and think, oh, let me speak correctly 100%. And then I'll be okay. I'm checking if my teeth have lipstick. I always check before the lesson, but I forgot. But it's all good. It's all good. So in real life, when it's time to speak, we don't have time to process information so quickly or so perfectly. That's why in your study practice, it's a good idea to spend some time working on those mistakes. And that's my goal here, okay? That being said, one common mistake in spoken language I see students making is when they're talking about like or any other verb, okay? The problem is very much or so much, okay? And here I even posted an example. Oh, I like very or so much, okay? I like very much this. Or I like so much this. Oh, I like very much this chocolate. I like so much this lesson. Okay, and what is the problem here? The position. And this is the kind of mistake that I always insist that you need to correct, okay? So that people can look at you and pay attention to your English and be like, wow, that person speaks so nicely, okay? These are details, but they're so important. They speak a lot about you, okay? So what should you do? Instead of saying, what's the problem here? The problem is the position. This is connected with position of words. I teach my students in the academy about the importance of knowing the position of words, where to put the words in spoken language. So you shouldn't say, I like this food so much. Oh, sorry. You shouldn't say, I like so much this food. No, it's wrong. So instead of saying that, you put the word so much, the two words, or very much at the end, okay? Put the object you like first. The object you like needs to be connected with the verb like. I like sports. I like dancing. I like to sleep. Verb can be a complement of like, okay? I like to sleep. I like to sleep very much. I really like to sleep. If it's an adverb, then it's different. I'm talking about very much and so much. So you put them at the end, okay? I like sports very much, okay? I really like sports. It's another option, but the position changes. But I don't separate those guys, okay? Like and the object. Don't do that, okay? So put them at the end. Oh, I like that movie so much. Oh, I like Teacher Prix so much. I like her so much that right now I'm going to hit the like button. Wee! So this is a common mistake students make in spoken language. When I am having group conversation classes with my babies, the students from my academy, I call them BSA, baby sardines in the area. When I'm having conversation classes with my students and they make this mistake, I correct them immediately. Like, hey, at the end, so much at the end, or very much after the object you like very much, okay? That's very important, guys. Watch out. Many students make this mistake in spoken language, okay? And why spoken language and not written language? Well, maybe you may make this mistake in written language if you're chatting with someone. But what I notice is that people use this more in spoken language. They make this mistake more often, more frequently in spoken language. So watch out, okay? Moving on. Oh, this is very common. Confusing verb to be and the verb go. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry to interrupt. Now, the second mistake. Confusing verb to be and the verb go, okay? What's the problem here? The common phrase that I hear students using is, oh, teacher, I was to the movies last weekend. This is not okay. And why is that? The verb to be, when I'm using verb to be, I don't indicate movement in the direction of something with the idea of moving, okay? And that's the problem with verb to be. And this mistake is commonly happens because the students are associating their native language, especially Spanish, people from Spanish-speaking countries or Portuguese. They make this association with verb to be, and it's not okay. So verb to be shows location, not movement, okay? And when I want to talk about a party I went to, I don't use verb to be. There are some situations when you can, and I will show you one idea, okay? But you can't. So you should say, I went to the movies last weekend. I went to my sister's house last weekend, because go indicates movement. And the preposition with go is to. Another common mistake that students make is to use many other prepositions. The preposition in 99% of the cases with the verb go, not phrasal verb, the verb go, is the preposition to. I go to school, I go to work, I go to the gym, I go to my friend's house, I went to the club, I went to the party. You use go, okay? Now, but teacher, can't I use verb to be with a place? Yes. If you're indicating location, not movement. That's the catch. So take a look at the example here. I was at the movies. Or at the movie theater, that would be better. I was at the movies when my friend called me. That's why I didn't answer the phone. So I was at the movies. I was at the movie theater. I'm not indicating I went, movement. Verb go is movement. I'm here. I am home. Location, okay? After this lesson, I'm going to school. I'm going to a conference, okay? So movement, you use go. But location, for example, my friend calls me, Priscila, where are you? Location. So to show location, okay, then yes. That's why, and this is what confuses students, because when they want to talk about places they visited, they want to talk about location, and you need to use the idea of movement. So if I look at you and say, oh, how was your last weekend? Oh, it was great. I was at a party. No, I went to a party. Because you need to show the movement idea. I was at a party when you're talking to someone about what you did. It is not okay because you're indicating location. So this situation here that I showed you, oh, I was at the movie theater when my friend called me. That's okay. I'm just showing location. Then in that case, it's fine. But many students use verb to be with the idea of the verb go. So watch out, okay? Movement and location are different things. And remember that verb to be has other translations, phrasal verbs with be, phrasal verbs with go. That's not where I'm going, okay? Now, moving on. If you're enjoying this lesson, make sure to hit the like button, share. Guys, you have no idea how much you help me when you share. Really, when you share on Facebook, with your friends on WhatsApp, social media, Twitter, when you share, you really help the channel. You really help YouTube understand that this is a good lesson, that I can help people. So make sure to share, like, and subscribe to my channel, okay? And these materials you can see here on the screen, they are study plan and the phrasal verb course that I have. If you want more information, you can click in the link in the descriptions, okay? Now, the third and final mistake. There are more mistakes, but I focused on important ones, you know? I recently corrected a student in my academy who was using this incorrectly during a conversation class. And what is that? Let me go there. Using actually incorrectly, okay? Now, actually is a false friend. What is a false friend? A false friend is a word that looks like something, but it's not. So you think that word has a specific translation, but it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. So that's the problem of false friends. And many students use actually with the wrong idea, okay? Actually means in fact, okay? To tell you the truth. This is just an explanation. To tell you the truth. In fact, it's connected with telling the truth, with telling the as a matter of fact. Has nothing to do with present time. This is also common for Italian people from Italy, Spanish people, people who speak Spanish, Mexican, Peruvian, people who speak Spanish, Brazilian people who speak Portuguese, Portuguese from Portugal. I don't know for Portuguese from Portugal if they confuse this, but it's a possibility. So it is a false friend. The word you're looking for is nowadays, okay? Nowadays means at the present time. You could also say currently. That would be possible depending on the collocation or the situation. But at the moment, nowadays, actually, no. So this is one example. Look at the example incorrectly, okay? Oh, in the past, okay, in the past, I used to live in Boston. Actually, I'm living in Florida. So this is what the students tell me. Oh, teacher, in the past, I lived in Boston. Actually, I live in Florida. Yay. No. Nowadays. Okay? Today. You could even use today with the idea of present. You could do that. So this is where the mistake is. So look at the correction. I used to live in Boston. Nowadays, I am living in Florida. Or currently, I am living in Florida. So that's the idea. In the past, you lived in Boston. At the moment, you live in Florida. So in the past, I lived in Boston. Nowadays, I live in Florida. Actually does not give that idea. So be very careful when you use those words, okay? Watch this video, rewatch, take notes, study. Okay, and tell me here in the comments which mistake have you made before. You know, if you have made any of these mistakes, let me know which one here in the comments. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this lesson. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.